Welcome back to our city. For the second half of the show, I'm pleased to welcome Ms. Michelle Ali, the registered dietitian and director of food and nutrition services at Trinitas. And joining her is Mr. Nicholas Brooks, the new executive chef at the Williamson Street campus of Trinitas. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, Michelle, March is National Nutrition Month. Is there a theme, and what does it say about our eating habits today?
Yes, there's a theme this year, and it's called Eat Right Your Way Every Day. And basically what that's about is about taking into your ethnic preferences, your cultural background, your health concerns. So it's maneuvering all of those things into your eating habits. And
So we don't have any good eating habits in this country.
well, I think we're getting better at what we eat and what we've chosen. We seem to be getting away from all the processed foods, etc.
And processed foods, you get involved in that at all over at Trinitas?
No, we don't really use processed foods at all. Everything is fresh. We use fresh vegetables. Our meats are fresh. Everything. I mean, that's where.
So all of those meals that you cook for the folks in the hospital are all freshly cooked that day?
Yes.
That's phenomenal.
Yes.
I mean, because you have hundreds of people in there, right? And they all get it delivered, wrapped in plastic, and
No.
We have a responsibility to our patients, and it's not only to give them good food, but it's to give them nutritious and healthy food as well.
So where did you train, Nicholas?
Johnson & Wells. I have a bachelor's degree from Johnson &
That's a
Wells.
big deal up in Rhode Island, right?
Yes.
Yeah. That's one of the premier schools for this field in the country.
Yes. Great school.
And did you always want to do this?
Yes. I mean, I've been cooking for a while, and it's something that I felt like I was really good at. My mom thought that I was really good at. She pushed me to do this, and I mean, I really, once I got to college, I really, saw that I had a passion for it. My mentor just really guided me and saw things in me that I didn't even see myself. And pretty much, my career started from there, and I've,
You've been in the private sector too before a hospital? Or
Yes, I haven't been in healthcare that long. I've worked in resorts, I've worked in country clubs, I've worked in fine dining restaurants.
So this is a challenge for you.
He's very good at it too.
Is he?
He's very good.
It's new. It's new. Once you go from all the different venues, you kind of just understand, and you kind of go into it, and you just take it when it comes and do what you can and adapt. I mean, that's what being a chef is all about, is a lot of times is being able to adapt.
Michelle, we're all familiar with the expression, you are what you eat. I mean, it's an old American saying going back, I guess, this founding of the country. But how does it translate into what we do in our daily lives?
Basically, what that translates is that you have to take in the nutrition that your body needs. And what we're seeing now is that if we're going to be eating a lot of processed foods that have a lot of sodium, a lot of fat, a lot of cholesterol, then what that translates into is you're going to have high rates of diabetes, heart disease, cardiovascular risk. So we need to concentrate on eating more fresh fruits, more vegetables, more whole grains. And those foods actually, we know they're nutritious for you. They're lower in fat, they're lower in sodium. Fresh fruits and vegetables, they don't have any cholesterol in it.
So how do you tell a 15-year-old kid that they got to be concerned about nutrition? I know when I was growing up, if you can give me a hamburger or a pizza and a Coke, I was fine. I don't barely drink Coke anymore. So how do you tell a 15-year-old kid this is what you got to eat?
We do this on a daily basis. We do outpatient counseling for our clients, our patients. And, it's the love of the food, how you present the food to a 15-year-old. And there's nothing wrong with having hamburgers on a daily basis. It's just...
You can have hamburgers every day?
Well, you can work it in different ways.
Tell him that, because I want in the hospital, I want to be able to have a hamburger every day.
Well, you can work it in. If that's one of your favorite foods, then yeah, we will try to work with you. But you need to have your fresh fruits and vegetables. You need to have your whole grains. And as the team say, you want to eat right every day. So if you're having that hamburger, probably you need to give up that French fry.
So should vegetables be cooked like where they're soft, or can you eat them like string beans and carrots al dente? Is there a
Vegetables should always be cooked al dente. The reason being is because the more you cook a vegetable, the more nutrients that you take out of it.
You take out of it.
You take out of it. So you want to make sure
I had this debate with my wife, believe it or not, and I say to her that I like them cooked more, and she says that's not proper. And she said exactly what you did.
Yeah, you're losing the nutrients out of it. You want vegetables, anything that's green should be bursting bright with color. Anything that's orange, you should see the bright color. Once you start to get to that gray or that dull area,
right,
all those nutrients are in the water if you boil them. The best way always, also is steaming. And you can flavor the vegetables by, aromatics that are, being steamed with their ginger, garlic. These are all things that impart flavor to the vegetables. So they don't have to be boring.
So you're a well-built guy. Do you have good eating habits?
I do now. I've recently
been
on. Not really, no. But I mean,
you said I did now, so I kind of threw that open to me. You didn't? Is that what
I recently started a diet in January. I've lost 26 pounds.
Okay.
And it's basically by changing my eating habits. A lot of things that I was doing, and when I started to figure out how to change things, I looked at the unnecessary foods that I was eating. I looked at the unnecessary calories that I was eating, and those are the things that I started to change. You can have fried chicken, but take out the fatty mac and cheese or the potatoes that are loaded with butter and milk and cream and substitute a baked potato. Put some chives on it. They have different low-fat butters.
So a baked potato is better than mashed potato?
If you're gonna, it has less calories. You're not.
What about bread, Chef? There's pita bread. There's rye bread. Is there a bread that's worse for you or better?
Obviously, white bread is just probably
because that's the most processed.
Yeah, probably you want to go with something that's whole grain. Also, you don't want to choose something not because it's brown. You want to read the labels. The food labels are very important.
Who takes the time to do that, Michelle? Though really,
we have to. If
we have to if we're
on a
get
daily
better, right?
basis. And a good rule of thumb here is that when you go food shopping, you want to take the time to read the labels while you're doing the food shopping. If you bring it home, guess what you're going to do? You're going to eat it. So it's better you take the time when you go food shopping to buy the correct things.
And what's one of the worst things that people do when eating, drinking, or snacking that can have a negative health impact?
Well, let's look at it this way. When we're eating, we're not concentrating on that food. A lot of times, I know in my daily routine, I eat at my desk, and that's probably the worst thing you can do for yourself. You should step away from the desk because you don't relish the food the way that it should be. You need to take time to think of that you're consuming the food, taste the food, really give the food the respect that it really
demands. Is soda one of the worst things you can have? My daughter is 12. She has yet to have a soda. I think that's pretty good.
The only time,
only because she don't want it.
Well, now we're finding, all the bad things about soda. It's the processed sugars, it's the phosphoric acids. So, that's probably the best thing you can do. Give her milk instead.
Yeah, water. She's a big water person.
Great.
You got a favorite dish?
Paella is my favorite dish to cook and eat, yes.
To cook and eat?
Yes.
Oh, so you like the one, I was hoping you had one that you like to cook, but necessarily may not like to eat it.
There are a few things.
There are?
I'm not a huge fan of eating lamb, but I do love to cook it. I know how to cook it very well. It's just not something that I like.
Yeah, I spent a week in Saudi Arabia. That's all they serve too.
But yeah, paella is my favorite dish to cook.
How do you find the two of you naturally can't see hundreds of people. So how does the average person figure out how to do this? Is there websites do they go on or?
You mean about nutrition?
Nutrition, right?
What I would recommend is going to the American Academy of Nutrition and Dietetic, and that's www.eatright.org. Or you can even call our dietitians at Trinitas Regional Medical Center, and that number is 908-994-5034.
There'd be people to talk to them, though?
Yeah.
Oh, they would?
If you leave us a message, we'll call you right back. We get lots of phone calls, and we'll call you back. May not be able to call you right back, but any nutrition question, we'll be happy to answer.
You would answer it?
Of course.
Good. And so, Chef, I thank you. How many years are you there now? When they say brand new in my notes, are you literally brand new?
I started in November.
Oh, that is brand new.
Yes.
Yeah. Challenges in serving all of these meals at a hospital on time and delivered to their bed, which is not your job, but you're going to get the complaints, right? If they don't get it hot or whatever.
Right.
Right.
The challenge of working in a kitchen like Trinitas is the fact that one, no 2 days are alike, and then two, it's anything that can happen. There's a lot of factors that go into what, from when the food is put together to when it gets to the patient. And some of those, there's travel time, there's how we hold the food. We're constantly taking temperatures of food. We have equipment that ensures that the food stays hot. We have, certain elevators that are designated just for us.
Food.
Yeah, just for us, so that we're not being held up by the rest of the business that's going on in the hospital. So a lot of thought process has gone into the flow of the food, and that's how, and then we listen to what the patients say. Whatever complaints that they have, we look at them, we analyze them.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, Michelle and myself, we will go over, and any problem with the patient, the correct way, it looks nice, it's hot, it tastes great, and these are all things that we're responsible for.
So you've been there since November. How long are you there, Michelle?
I've been there off and off for the past 20 years. I've come back in different
you've gone
capacities.
Back and forth, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I wish the two of you luck, and I thank you for taking the time to join us on the show this evening.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much for having us.
For Nicholas Brooks and Michelle Ali and Kathy McCarthy and Michael Johnson on the first part of the show, I'm Mayor Chris Bolwage, and we'll see you next week on another edition of Our City.